guys? It's me, Gaming Guy TV here. As you can tell by the title of this video, this isn't exactly a happy video. My mood probably doesn't reflect it, because after hearing the news, I was upset for a day or two, and today I finally bounced back and I'm my good old happy self again. And that's not the kind of mood you want for a video like this. It depends on the type of video. I don't know what type of video I'm going for. I'm just sort of recording and letting all the thoughts come out of my head. So that may not stand true. But my great-grandfather passed away early Monday morning. And yeah, we're all pretty sad about it. And the reality is, for those who don't remember, my great-grandmother passed away January 9, 2019, and my great-grandfather passed away January 13th, 2020. So, yeah, we all could tell that he was just lost without her, and even in his last couple weeks, we could still tell he was just lost without her. I mean, they've been married for 66 years. I don't have a grasp of how long that is, but 66 is a big number. So, yeah, my apologies if this video has a lot of ums in it. I'm just sort of letting the thoughts flow out of my head. So, the thing that my family has to... not has to, but... first of all, let me phrase that differently. Hello, family. If I know my grandparents well enough, they're going to find this video very sweet and share it out with the rest of the family, and my other grandmother will probably share it with a couple of people. Feel free to do that, by the way. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But, yeah. So, I think a couple things for us to remember is the thing that happened Sunday night. I'm not going to go into details due to privacy, but something happened Sunday night that caused brain damage. His heart rate dropped below like 20 beats per minute, which caused brain damage, and if he had made it through, he would have been incredibly limited in what he could do. And if I know him well enough, and I think I do, and I think we all do, he would not have wanted to live that way. I think he would much rather be where he is now with my great-grandmother. They're both well again, so they can go out and live another life together. Yeah, I think he would much rather be in the better place that he is now, instead of be very limited. And I know he loved all of us. And, I know that we all loved him and we were there for him through his final moments. I wasn't there. My aunt was, and from what I've heard, she was helping him get out of the hospital bed to use the bathroom, and he just went in her arms. That's what I've heard. My family either confirm or deny this. That's not a statement, that's a I don't know if any of my family is watching, confirm or deny. But that's sad in a way that you see so many movie endings like that, and I know it's not fair to my great-grandfather to compare his ending to a movie ending. But you just see so many sad movie endings where a person dies in another person's arms and stuff like that. I don't think this was like this. You could look at it as, oh my gosh, that's so sad. Or you could look at it and say, he didn't die alone. He had someone there with him. And I'm going to say it again. I've said this so many times over the past 2 days. I think he would rather be up there with my great-grandmother and be happy with her again than stay here with us and be limited. And with my great-grandmother, her mind failed her. And with my great-grandfather, his body sort of failed him. He was incredibly weak before his heartbeat dropped. And then he got even weaker to the point that he couldn't stand up, and my aunt did everything she could. She got him to a hospital where they could care for him, and I think he just made that mental choice that he wanted to go be with Mimi. He had been away from her long enough. And from my point of view, yes, I'm incredibly sad that he's gone. I'm tearing up a bit now. And I know he wouldn't want me to be sad. And I know that. And I'm just giving myself a couple days to be sad, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to have this ruin the rest of my year and dwell on it for year upon year, because we can't change anything. We don't have the technology for that. And by the time that technology comes around, it'll be far too late to do anything about it with my great-grandfather. And, yeah. It's two very different sets of emotions. With my great-grandmother, she was the first to go. We always thought he would be the first to go, I think. Again, my family, please confirm or deny that. But also, her condition had gotten so bad that while yes, she was breathing, she was, and it kills me to say this, and I'm not trying to be mean, but she was practically dead already. I remember clear as day. I remember it like it was yesterday even. The day that my but most of my family came to her room in the nursing home to say goodbye. I remember that was one of the most heartbreaking days of my life. As is. You could be watching this like 5 years in the future and it could have a way more heartbreaking day. But that was the most heartbreaking day of my life so far. Because I just remembered all the times that, in like 5th grade, or maybe it was 6th grade, I think it was 6th grade, we had a snow day on December 15th, which was my grandfather's birthday, and my grandparents were going out to breakfast with my great-grandparents, and I had off school, so I went, and I will forever remember that. And I know how hard it was on everybody to watch my great-grandmother just decline, and I think with her, in the most respectful way possible, we all sort of wanted her to go. We didn't know, but we could take a guess at how much misery she was in, and we just wanted her to be out of that misery. And when I walked into that room on January 5th, I knew that this was the end. And I just had to accept that. And I knew there was nothing I could do about it. You know, I cried for a while, especially after she passed. And yeah, we all sort of wanted her to go. We wanted her to be out of her misery. And with my great-grandfather, he was very, very sick. Around a month ago, around 2 months ago is when this all started. But he had pneumonia, or it was old age or something, and it just weakened him so much that he couldn't eat, he couldn't walk, he couldn't get up, he could barely move his arm, he couldn't hear. And it was hard on all of us then. I remember going down to where he was, because my aunt lives about an hour and a half-ish away from where we are. And I remember walking into the room in the nursing home he was in, and just seeing him laying there, mouth open, sleeping and breathing loudly. And my brain flashed back to walking into my great-grandmother's room. And I had to keep myself from crying there. Because I remember as soon as I walked into my great-grandmother's room, I immediately started crying. And I knew my great-grandfather didn't want to see any of us crying because he needed good thoughts. And we knew he could get out of it. And he was starting to recover, and then his heartbeat dropped. And he went. And he went as peacefully as one can. You know, sure, he might have been in a little bit of pain, but it wasn't like my great-grandmother, where I don't even know how to describe it, and I'm not going to attempt to. But I know all of us are sad, and it hits in a different way than my great-grandmother. And I know my family can confirm that. I know that it hits different, because with my great-grandmother, I was sad when I heard she'd passed away, but I was also glad, in a sense, because she was out of her misery, and she was in a better place, and yeah. And my great-grandfather passed away on Monday, and I had a squash match on Wednesday, and I could feel his presence. As I played that match, I could feel both of their presences guiding me on. And I know that they were both proud of me in that moment, and I could sense that. And as much as I'm going to miss them, we can't do anything about it. They're gone. And they're not really gone until those of us who have memories of them stop remembering them. And I think that's what we have to remember. Is that, you know, as long as any of us have memories of them, they're still alive, they're still around. There's this saying that you're never truly gone until somebody stops remembering. And that is important. And I'm looking at it now. You guys can't see it, but I'm looking at my phone. My background is me and my great-grandfather at a mini golf course in Ocean City from 7 or 8 years ago, it has to be. And this, I think we're all feeling a different set of emotions. I think my grandmother and her sisters are sad, because, I mean, they've lost both of their parents within the past year. But in a sense, I don't even know what I'm saying. I lost my train of thought. Sorry, guys. But and yeah, I posted something on my Insta story about this, and if somebody asked me if I was doing it just to make people feel sorry for me, my answer was going to be no. I did not just do it for that. I know that they are looking, and by they I mean my great-grandparents, are looking down from above, seeing me post something that I'll miss them, or they're looking on their own smartphones and seeing it, and that, you know, I will miss them. That's the truth. The song Perfect by Ed Sheeran still makes me cry. Because my great-grandmother's funeral was January 11, and I went to a bat mitzvah party January 12. And I remember after my crush didn't slow dance with me, I looked sad, but I remember one of my friends saying, "You look so sad right now." And I smiled to mask that, but 6 months later, I told him that I really was sad, and I really was crying because of all the emotions it brought out. And my last words to my great-grandfather were, "Take care of yourself." And nothing could be more perfect than that, because he did. He did the best he could do, and he took care of himself up until the last moment. I think I'm gonna end the video here. I have no idea how long it's been going on, but I'm gonna leave about 30 to 40 seconds at the end of this video for a minute of silence. And yeah, I'll miss him, and I know that not many kids get to know their great-grandparents. We might know them for like a year or something, or their great-grandparents might have passed away before they were born, but I've had the pleasure of knowing mine for 14 years, and that is something not many kids get to experience. And I know I'm lucky and fortunate, and I know it's hard on all of us when this happens, but I'm glad I got to know them and love them and have all the experiences and memories I had with them. And I know that someday I might see him again. I will definitely never forget them. That's for sure. And now they both know if pigs really do fly. That's an inside joke. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.